King Charles. Something happened behind closed palace doors that no official press release could ever fully capture. Not a political scandal, not a diplomatic crisis, but something far more human, far more devastating, and far more real. A family gathered around a man they loved, and in one quiet room, everything changed. According to reports from royal insiders, King Charles's cancer has reached a point where it may no longer be treatable, and some sources claim he will likely live with the disease for the rest of his life. Whether those reports are fully accurate remains to be seen. The palace has been careful with its language. But what is clear is that something shifted recently, and the ripple effects are being felt across the entire royal family. The moment that allegedly set everything in motion was not a grand announcement. It was not a press conference or a formal medical briefing. It was, by all accounts, a private family lunch at Windsor. No cameras, no aides hovering nearby, no rehearsed statements. Just family, a silver teapot, and one terrifying second that no one saw coming. Charles had reportedly been speaking confidently about returning to his royal duties. He was talking about future events, upcoming engagements, plans that stretched months ahead. Then, mid-sentence, his grip failed. A cup slipped from his fingers, struck the floor, and shattered. Princess Catherine, according to those familiar with the account, moved first, reaching for his arm before anyone else had even processed what had just happened. She called for medical help immediately. Charles, reportedly frustrated and embarrassed, pushed back, insisting no one should cause unnecessary alarm. But William had heard something beneath his father's anger. Not the voice of a king dismissing concern. The voice of someone who was frightened. And that frightened him far more than watching the cup fall. What emerged in the hours that followed was even more unsettling. Medical staff reportedly revealed that this had not been the first such episode. Charles had experienced similar warning signs days earlier, and had chosen not to tell his family. Only his doctors knew. The written medical assessment that followed delivered news no one wanted to receive. The king's illness had progressed more quickly than anticipated, and his treatment was no longer producing the results doctors had hoped for. Catherine picked up the broken pieces of the cup from the floor. William gently took them from her shaking hands. Neither of them spoke. They both understood, without saying a word, that what had just happened could not be undone. Not the fall, not the revelation, not the new reality now sitting between them. It's worth pausing here to acknowledge what the script we're drawing from presents as dramatic certainty, private conversations, specific recorded messages, emotional dialogue behind locked doors, and to be transparent. Much of this is drawn from claims made by royal insiders and sources close to the family. These details have not been independently verified by official palace statements. What is confirmed is that Charles's health has deteriorated, that his public duties have been significantly reduced, and that William has taken on a substantially larger role. The emotional and interpersonal details, as vivid as they are reported as insider accounts rather than established record. With that said, the picture those accounts paint is a deeply human one. Catherine's grief, reportedly visible on her face long before any public acknowledgement, reportedly led her to go privately to the king in his room. No aids, no formalities. She shut the door behind her. Charles, by some accounts, expected comfort. What he received instead was an honest question. Why had he hidden the earlier warning? Why had he kept his family in the dark until a cup shattering on a dining room floor forced the truth into the open? The conversation that allegedly followed was not a composed exchange between two members of the royal family. It was, reportedly, two frightened people speaking plainly to each other. Catherine is said to have told Charles that his silence hadn't protected anyone. It had left William unprepared, created tension with Camilla, and fractured the family's ability to face what was coming together. She reportedly argued that no institution, however powerful, could remain stable when the people inside it were not told the truth. Charles, by these accounts, explained his reasoning with exhausted honesty. He said that once his condition was openly acknowledged as serious, the machinery of succession would begin moving around him. Every visit from family would feel like a countdown.